Welcome back to audio only review. This is a redo of a previous audio only review of the miniseries Invasion because apparently the last one had no audio at all, so I'm redoing it. Even though it took me a little while and I usually when I redo these. The miniseries was released in 1989. Yeah, 1989. It was by Keith Giffen and Bill Mantlo, and the artwork was by the creator of Spawn himself, Todd McFarlane. Though he drew, I think he drew just the first 2 issues, and I think he did the covers for all 3 of them. Now, one of the reasons why I'm doing kind of like this review kind of now, because the main villains of this crossover, the Dominators, the alien species are on the cover here, they are going to be on. They're from heavily rumored to be the main antagonist for the Fortnite crossover between the 4 DC Universe shows: Supergirl, Flash, Arrow, and Legends of Tomorrow. Now, pretty much they're the leaders of the Alien Alliance. Once it's working properly, who was part of the Alliance. Now, pretty much the main people who are fighting against them are the JLI, and a bunch of other superheroes, including some supervillains. Yep. Here we go. Here we go. It's comprised of, like I said, Dominators, the Khalids, the Thanagarians, which are Hawkman's people, Galad the Spawn, Duralans, yeah, the same people who involved with the Uprising crossover for Green Lantern Phantom Corps a few years ago, the Cydalians, the Warlords of Akira, the Daxamites, the species that Mon-El comes from, and the Scions. Now, these guys made frequent attacks all over the place. The Warlords of Akira attacked Russia. The Duralans infiltrated Cuba. They got this established base operations in the Arctic Ocean. The Khalid fought over the Oceania. I think it's an island. I think it is. The it's actually yeah, pretty much these guys attack Australia. Yeah, Australia is frequently referenced as the first country to fall to the Alliance. The Scions decided to do experiments in Gotham City, and the Alliance launched a raid on Paradise Island, aka Themyscira. Now, pretty much when it came to this particular story, now in the first issue, the Alliance just shows up on Earth and pretty much demands pretty much like the build up, like how show up the Alliance themselves, stuff like that. Good thing for book 1 to do. I should point out this was a 3-issue miniseries when it came out. And I do have the dates when the thing was released, from January to March of 1989. Now, with the Alliance show, apparently that Amanda Waller from the Suicide Squad comic wanted to send in the Suicide Squad to, take on the aliens. But somebody, that being Traveler, Televar, I think his name is. Yeah, he decided to stick his nose in where it didn't belong. He apparently was the government liaison to the Suicide Squad, from what I've heard. Yeah, he was their liaison, so he decided to stick his nose where it belonged, so Amanda called him up about it. And pretty much like the issue, like, the Alliance came there for one thing, and that's ask for the surrender of Earth's heroes. And what did the world say? Drop dead. Then pretty much part of the second issue is simply just kind of like the build up to the big fight that's going to happen, where Captain M organizes all the heroes that he can, even though apparently there's not enough heroes. Yeah, it's revealed there's not enough heroes to take on the Alien Alliance, so yeah, even he's regretting this next part. He's like, and Amanda's Waller's like, send in the supervillains. Yeah, and the Suicide Squad just appeared for issue 2 only. They don't appear in the following issue. And, sorry about this. They don't appear in the following issue. But, the issue pretty much most of the issue turns into a big, humongous fight scene. with the Earth's heroes and villains taking on the Alien Alliance, and they win. And I think, oh, the thing is over. Nope, there's still one issue left. And of course the alien's like, even though you're banned from Earth, that means we can't do something else. So what do? They send a plague to the planet, pretty much decimating the superhuman population, except for a small number of superheroes that are somehow immune to it. Superman is obviously immune to it because he was out in space. The other heroes who were not affected were two of the Green Lanterns, which was Hal Jordan and John Stewart. I think Guy Gardner. Actually, Guy Gardner was ill. Batman was a little bit ill, but he wasn't out for the count. So, and I think Martian Hunter was like that too, yes. So, yeah, it was a gene bomb that was detonated. So, they decided to, well, how should I put this? They decided to send a small group of heroes to go to the Alliance Citadel to end this thing once and for all. But, they got a lit from the Omega Men, which their series ended just prior to this event happening. Keith Giffen was actually one of the writers on that book, so he figured though he used this book to kind of tie up some loose ends that he had left from the series got abruptly canceled after only 38 issues. Now the heroes did win, definitely. That's not a surprise. The heroes won, and of course Batman beat up Major Force and getting back to General Island. He's like, I believe this is yours. So yeah, so he returned Major Force to General Island. And they decided to just, well, they defeated they go to Alien Citadel, and of course the Omega were happy to help and give them a lift. So they attacked the Citadel and they defeated the Alien Alliance. I think that they were defeated, from what I can tell. The Domineers. Yeah, they were defeated in the crossover, and they were never featured again in present day. Yeah, they weren't featured that much in present day again. But, yeah. So, they decided to simply just, well, do whatever. Actually, Brett Spars, I'm sorry about that. I thought McFarlane did the covers. The covers done by Brett Spars, who basically did all the covers, and he did issue 3. My mistake about that. But, yeah, it's an awesome series, and it did have some consequences. Not as big consequences, let's say, Crisis on Infinite Earths or Legends. Pretty much, characters like Superman and Captain got a humongous amount of characters. As a matter of fact, Captain was declared a hero, a big hero. The world recognized him as a hero because of this event. I think he joined the, he joined the JLI just right after this event. Yeah, he joined JLI just right after this. Now, the reason why, now this is just basically just a plaything of how, I think that I'm going to parody exactly, possibly how Bill Mantlo got the co-writing credit on here. It's like, okay, Keith Giffen just got, like, he probably at this point is like, okay, I've got the co-writing credit for this, but I'm working on a bunch of other stuff. I need help with this dang thing. So, he calls up his old friend who helped create Rocket Raccoon with, Bill Mantlo. He's like, hey, Bill. Yes, Keith. Can you help me with this miniseries Invasion? I'm busy with other books like JLI, Martian Manhunter, Mr. Miracle, Dr. Fate, bunch of other books. Can you help out? He's like, sure. Why not? Now, this ended up being the only book that Bill Mantlo himself actually did for DC Comics, because 2 years after this event was released, Bam Mantlo was involved in an accident that left him sort of bedridden for the next 25 years. And of course, there is a charity, basically, the Bill Mantlo Foundation, that's meant to help pay for his medical bills. Keith Giffen still writes this very day. As a matter of fact, he is writing the Blue Beetle comic. The first issue came out just, I believe, this week. If not either this week or last week, the first issue of the new Blue Beetle comic came out. And it was good. Yes. But as for the other stuff, well, some characters got some development here and there. There was one series that came out of this one that was a new one they started up. and that was the Legion comic, which was written by Keith Giffen and Alan Grant. Keith Giffen would only be on the book for about the first 12 issues, then he would just leave. Alan Grant would be on it for a good period of time. I'd say for about 40, 50 issues tops. He was on the book before Mark Waid took over for like the last 20 or 30 issues. But Legion lasted for 70 issues, but were relaunched as Rebels. That lasted 17 issues, and of course the series was brought back in 2009. And I spoke to Tony Bedard, the writer of the recent Rebels book, and says he wanted the recent Rebels book continuation of the book that Keith Giffen and Alan Grant started back in '89. That's what he wanted to do, but the name was changed to Rebels in order to avoid confusion. So what you will. But yeah, I agree. Basically, the whole thing of like changing the name to Rebels because they wanted to avoid confusion. Yeah, I agree with him. That was a dumb idea. But yeah, this was one very interesting event. And now somebody asks, is this in trade? Yes, it is. It has been collected. I think at least once again. Yeah, I believe it was collected once. Let's see. Yeah, it was released. The trade paperback, the last one was released in 2008, so 8 years ago. But there is a trade out there that does collect this, and I don't think they've released a new trade for it yet. But as of the books I tied into this crossover, like what happened to like right after that? Well, let's see. First off, for the tie-ins, Checkmate. Checkmate would last for another a little over 2 years before the book was canceled. Same thing with Firestorm, a little over 2 years. Manhunter would end exactly 50. I think it's like about 16 issues. A little over. Yes, some of these books ended last for a couple years. Not Power of the Atom. Power of the Atom lasted for another year before the book got canned. New Guardians was the only one who ended like not long after this one did. This book ended exactly. Well, the issue 7, the New Guardians, is a tie-in to us. But the tie-in would end about 5 issues later. But a majority of the stuff that was in this book, I think Spectre, Spectre ended too. Yeah, Spectre ended with this crossover as well before it was relaunched in the 90s under John Ostrander. Let's see. No, actually, yeah. Well, not with this crossover, no, per se. It ended like New Guardians ended just a few months afterwards, but pretty much a majority of everything else that is no longer publishing today managed to last for about another year or two before they were canned. A majority of the books that were going after this book, they still continued for a good period of time before they ended up were relaunched. But yeah, excuse me. That's all really much to say with this. Now, somebody asked, do the tie-ins count when you're reading this crossover? Yes. And one thing I should also mention, it does lay some groundwork for Grant Morrison's a bit of an overrated run, in my opinion, of his run for Doom Patrol. It does lay the groundwork for that because some of the characters from Paul Keverberg's run of Doom Patrol were killed off in this crossover, and some were left like that. But yeah, this also laid the groundwork for Doom Patrol as well. But Legion was the only new book that was launched because of this crossover. Yeah. They did launch a special called Blasters, which was started by Snapper Carr. But yeah. That's it for this episode. That's it for this review. Stay tuned for more reviews. And definitely my next audio-only review will be Nightwing, where I'm going to be discussing the first volume of the Nightwing, the first volume of the Nightwing series, where I will cover the 4-issue miniseries that was the first volume before my friend Edgar covers the second volume. Basically, as a prelude to actually his run of the series. Okay, but until then, I will hear you guys in the next episode, next audio only. Okay, bye.